Hello caffeine fiends and welcome to another coffee video for www.getbean.com. I'm Vince the Mean Bean Machine, and today we'll be looking at coffee subscriptions for your office. So most roasters, roasteries, coffee sellers will do a subscription service, and for those that don't do a subscription service, you can buy in bulk. A lot of them will sell it under the wholesale kind of bit. You can buy in bulk, if you know you're going to get through a lot of coffee. And everyone does a subscription service, or almost everyone does a subscription service. So if you're looking for a subscription service for yourself, really that's down to you finding a brand or a coffee that you like, and kind of going, yeah, I'd be prepared to commit to that for 6 months, 12 months, whatever. I like what they're doing, I like their roasts. If you are doing it for yourself personally, there are some great roasters out there. I'd recommend kind of Argyle Coffee, Kin Coffee, or even look around for local roasters, smaller roasters, because they'll give you that little bit of personal service that you might not find elsewhere. However, I started looking at what kind of roasters do subscriptions for offices. Largely because it was a suggestion by my brother-in-law about how would kind of offices get in decent coffee, and he thought I could do some content around that. But also because my office has been looking for, a couple of colleagues have been looking at potentially trying to get a coffee subscription into where I work. Now the problem with where I work is it's quite small. So it's balancing how much coffee you want, how much coffee people drink in the office with the effective cost. We tend to kind of buy our coffee beans in bulk, which is from the supermarket or even Costco, and just kind of use our machine. But it did get me wondering, are there kind of office coffee subscription services? And after looking about, just kind of by browsing at a few of kind of my favorite coffee roasters, there's not a lot out there. There are your standard kind of gift subscriptions or just kind of coffee subscription services that you could scale up for an office, but there's not a lot out there that's office specific. So what I've done is I compiled a list of these roasters and who does subscriptions. And for this video, I effectively eliminated any that don't sell, that only do a coffee subscription that delivers less than 1 kilogram of coffee when you want it. So anyone that delivers less than 1 kilogram of coffee was automatically struck off this list, no matter how good they are or whatever else, because if you're looking at an office, you're looking at bulk coffee. However, I'm looking at specialty coffee that you can get in bulk. So this does limit a lot of the smaller roasters. I will concede that. A lot of the small roasters can't offer that as a service, because if they get too many, suddenly they can't keep up with demand. But there are options out there. So I've chosen 3 options that I think are possibly the best out there. And the best kind of choices for an office, and I'll run through them. So in third place, I have opted for Old Spike's coffee subscription service. Now, for those of you that don't know about Old Spike, they do a great thing where they train and support homeless people and help them with a skill set that they can take into the working environment. They help them become kind of baristas, roasters, and their profits kind of go into that training and whatever else. So if you buy their stuff, you're also contributing to a good cause. So that's instantly sort of upped them above, your average coffee roaster. So their options allow you to order a kilogram of coffee at a time on their coffee subscription, and you can choose from whole bean, pre-ground for filter, or pre-ground for cafetiere. as well as for stovetop or home espresso machines. You can choose the grind as well. If you've got a bean to cup, you just order a home, bean to cup machine in the office, just order the whole bean. If, you've only got cafetières or, little brewers, you can get the grind for that as well. If you're fortunate enough to work in a office with a espresso machine as well, you also have that option. So it gives you the options in their subscription service to choose the grind as well as the bean. But what it also does, which a lot of other subscription services don't offer, is you can have the delivery every 1 week, 2 weeks, or 4 weeks. A lot of subscription services will just kind of say, look, we're delivering you a 250 gram bag every week, or if you're ordering like a kilogram of coffee, they'll be like, cool, that's coming every 4 weeks. Because that's just when they roast, and how they put that out. So to have that kind of option of when it's delivered, you can order a kilogram every 1 week, 2 weeks, or 4 weeks. And that comes to, if you're ordering a kilogram of coffee, it's about 40 quid for, for each kilogram, you're paying 40 quid. And then it also gives you the option to, although it only goes up to a kilogram, it then gives you an option to order the change the quantity of subscription. So you can hypothetically order 3 kilograms, 4 kilograms, etc. But it's 40 quid per kilogram. So you're just paying each, or it's 40 quid per subscription. So for each kind of kilogram, you're paying £40. So that's Old Spike. I think I've tried their coffee before. They do a great kind of benefit with their stuff. They're helping out other causes, and it's good coffee. And then the variables there allow you to order to your own specifications. So if you've got a bigger office or a smaller office, if you have kind of coffee drinkers who aren't drinking that much coffee but you still need a regular influx of coffee, a regular supply, then they're a good option. In the number 2 spot, I have chosen Hardlines coffee. They're a roaster in Wales. They make some excellent coffee. They make excellent coffee. They roast excellent coffee. They brew excellent coffee if you're ever near one of their shops or want to buy a bag of beans. But they do great stuff as well. They're a roaster in Wales. And again, their subscription service is again aimed more at kind of personal coffee subscriptions, but by being allowed to select how many bags you want. So it says 1 bag, 2 bags, or 1 kilogram. So it's effectively 250 grams, 500 grams, or a kilogram. And then you kind of select a kilogram. You select again the roast and the grind. You can select whole bean, kind of a V60 filter grind, an espresso grind. But you can also, within that, select for AeroPress. They have more grinds for different brew processes. So again, that allows you greater scope with whatever machinery or equipment you have in the office. So you can select your grind and how many bags you want. And if you're selecting a kilogram, that's coming in at about £32 a month. So although it doesn't, allow you to choose when the coffee is delivered, you're getting a kilogram a month. It does give you greater variation for the equipment you're offering, and it's still cheaper than Old Spike. So although they're not doing as great things, they're not kind of reinvesting those profits. I mean, I'm sure they are, but in and of themselves, not in kind of charitable work. But it's cheaper, it gives you a lot of options, and there is also a code on their website to get 20% off your first subscription order, and then you can just keep that rolling. So that is why they come into my number 2 spot. finally, in number 1 spot, I have chosen Cold Town Coffee. Now, I've chosen Cold Town largely because they're the only ones out there that I can find that has an office-specific subscription. It even says it on their website. It's large quantity, and you can choose weekly or monthly delivery. So it has office-specific. So they're already ahead of the game by allowing you to subscribe to their award-winning coffee for your office. And you can select the recurring subscription, so you can just kind of go, yeah, we'll pay every month and just not worry about it. Then you get the option to kind of choose if you want it for an espresso machine or if you have a pod machine. They sell the little capsules, so if you've got one of those silly Nespresso things, you can get decent, compatible capsules for those sort of machines, just delivered on a regular basis. Then once you've chosen that, you can choose between whole bean filter espresso, so you can choose your grind, and then you get to choose between 3 kilograms, 5 kilograms, or 10 kilograms delivered to you. And again, you get to choose how regularly, so 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months. So not only do you get to choose how much you can get, you can choose how regularly you want it delivered, what sort of beans or grinds you want delivered, and that comes in at about £72 for the 3 kilogram one. So you're getting more coffee. It is more expensive than the other two, but you're getting more coffee and you get more options with that as to how you want it. And Cold Town are also a B Corp, so they support kind of local communities where industry has been lost to traditional kind of industrial communities. And they specifically set up in those areas to kind of help. They are also roast their beans in Wales. They're also a Welsh roastery. So it would seem Wales is ahead of the game in kind of coffee subscriptions. So those are just my top 3 recommendations for any kind of office managers or those trying to encourage their office to get in a decent coffee on a regular basis. Thank you very much. Do check us out at www.getbean.com and on all of the socials, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. We're there. Give us a like. We'll see you all soon. Thank you very much. Take care.